Why did the chicken stay in the middle of the road?
You asking me? You asking your fans?
You.
Oh. I think the chicken stayed in the middle of the road because there was some chicken feed there, mysteriously placed by the farmer. But we are yet to find out why. Am I close?
The chicken stayed in the middle of the road and got hit by a car and died that way because he didn't want to go and get eaten by a werewolf, and he didn't want and get eaten by a vampire on the other side. So he decided, I'm not going to go anywhere near either of them, and I'm just going to stay in the middle of the road and get ran over by a moped and die.
Oh, that's why. It all makes sense now. Or does it? Am I just a little bit more confused?
Well, what would you rather die from, huh? A car in the middle of the road, a vampire, or a werewolf?
Probably the car.
See, the chicken is the smartest one.
Chicken is a pretty smart little dude. I'm not gonna lie. This chicken probably knows how to play tic-tac-toe and everything as well.
Dude, in my fantasy, chickens are like the super smart. Okay, they're the super smart. They know which way to die. You know, they know the proper way to get absolutely destroyed.
That is so hardcore. Congratulations, chickens.
Yeah.
Apparently, they know what's up.
Well, that's going to do it for us.
Yep. Catch you guys next week.
We're going to go and get hit by cars now because of how just terrible the intro was.
We're dedicated to this now. Okay.
Do you want to go like and hold hands, whatever, and get hit by a car? Or do you want to go to separate places and like get hit by two different cars?
The holding hands thing might seal the deal for me.
Too bad the chicken didn't have anyone to hold hands with.
Yeah, too bad chickens don't have hands.
They could hold wings.
They could hold talons.
Yeah.
That would kind of look weird, though, because how would they walk? They'd have to, like, hop at the same time while holding talons.
Well, they just walk to the middle of the road, and then they lock talons.
If
and they're like,
two chickens lock talons and they both flap one of their wings, can they finally fly? That was a dumb question. Sorry.
What?
Avoid that. Avoid that one completely.
No, I think we should dive into that one, Eric. What did you mean by all that?
Oh, you know what I mean. You know exactly what I mean.
If two chickens lock talons and they start flapping,
yeah.
Will they fly?
Will they finally be able to fly? Because chickens can't really fly. They can like glide.
Probably, they can do a glide thing.
They can do like a boost, like a jetpack boost, like and they can like fly higher, ish. But until they actually have a partner in crime and they're holding talons, I think they're incapable of maintaining flight.
Okay, so do we know anybody that has chickens?
I used to. I can get some. We could duct tape their talons together. We'll see if it works. In reality, they'll probably just use all four wings at the same time and rip their legs apart. I guess that's that's the beginning of the wishbone. That's probably where it comes from,
Maybe.
I think we have another test.
That's for a later episode, our bonus episodes where we start testing these theories on on animals and stuff.
I can't wait.
Well, let's see. We are here for another week, another episode of Twilight Noobs. We are slowly getting through this book because so far we've just been doing a chapter at a time, but this is just how it's gonna have to be, people, for now. So just deal with it.
But we like it like this. It's great like this.
It makes things easier. It might not be the most. Yeah, it may not be like the best thing for you, which is that means we're putting ourselves above the listeners. But
yes,
I don't know. Like, does people really have, like
Yeah, suck it up.
an hour and a half, to listen to the full episode, or do people already break it up into 2 parts? And maybe we're already doing you a service.
Listen to podcasts all day long. We're probably at the very end of the line. Got to be honest.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah. So, yeah, an hour is fine. Even less than an hour is fine. No one's going to miss us. It's fine. How many times can I say fine in the exact same pitch?
Well, you just said pitch in the same tone. That's fine.
We're multitasking. Sorry, guys.
All right. Okay, so
I'm a retard.
We're diving into chapter 3 today. It's called Motives, which is kind of funny because in this chapter, I feel like evasion would have worked for this one. Like, because what was that, chapter 2 was evasion, I think? And so, like, motives, I think, is okay. It kind of works for this chapter, but so would evasion. Like, evasion made no sense in the previous chapter, like the title. So, let's see. We start off, if you remember from last time, like, basically Edward was kind of being suspicious in wanting to fly to Florida for the weekend to visit Renee.
Right.
And brought it up to Charlie, and like there was that whole like fight between Bella and Charlie and yada yada yada. But it they ended up like yada yada yoda.
Wow.
Go to Florida, weeby. So they So they end up going to Florida, but so the chapter starts with them on the flight back. So they didn't even they don't go into, there's nothing like in Florida.
Yeah, it's like another one of those blackout moments that Bella famously always has.
So we don't get any so I bet when the movie Renee read this book, she was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, so I'm not even gonna be in the movie." Like, she was just like, "Wow, I'm getting no money." Like, thanks, people. Like,
again.
Thanks, Stephanie Meyer. You couldn't have written me she does they do have a flashback where she thinks back to a conversation she had with Renee, but it's very short. It's probably, I don't know, a couple paragraphs, but
that's what we think.
So they're on the flight back from Florida, and so we get a little bit of a flashback between a conversation Bella and Renee had where basically Renee's talking to Bella about the Edward and Bella, their relationship, and how it really appears more serious than she thought originally, which is kind of weird because she says here Renee is much more perceptive than Charlie in some ways. It was making me jumpy, she quotes to Edward, but the problem with this is she's not actually that perceptive because, think about it this way. Bella and Edward have, she doesn't know, she knows that they broke up for a bit, right?
Yeah, of course.
Right, Renee? I'm assuming she knows that.
I imagine.
But,
she's pretty dumb.
But if you think about how much time, they've been dating and, being apart and then them getting back together, what all of that means, of course they're gonna be close. It means that they want each other so much that they got back together, and how long they've been dating. It's not for them to be for her to be you're much more serious than I thought. It's kind of of course they're gonna be serious. They broke up and got back together for a reason, you know what I mean? You don't only get back together.
There's only one reason we would get back together.
If you truly want to be with that person for a long-term thing. High school, you break up with people all the time.
Well, they are in high school.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, people don't ever, get back together and,
What do you mean? Of course they always get back together. What are you talking about?
No. It's so different.
No, you're crazy. Dude,
no.
In high school, people always got back together. What are you talking about?
It rarely happened.
What kind of high school did you go to? The one-word system?
The one where
boys school?
No.
I'm just kidding.
The one where you go to, people date, and then they're like, well, I made out with her. Let's move on to another person to make out with. It's
That's hardly dating then.
Well, yeah, but that's in high school, it's like a learning. The dating thing is a learning curve. Okay, it's where you go to learn about dating and relationships. All right,
That's where you go.
that's where you go. That's what you learn in high school. You don't learn anything
That's your
else.
first stop.
Yep.
Okay.
Relationships 101, 201. You can be
201.
advanced.
Dang, what about 102? You skipped all the 100.
Dude, some people skip, man. They don't need that stuff.
They fall into the lap of all the temptation and reality. Just screw their life up. All they had to do was go to 102.
Yeah, maybe if they would have gone, the relationship would have been saved. Who knows?
Maybe that's the problem with Bella. Maybe she's at 201 already because Edward's already, at 301 because he's several generations in front of her. And she's like, I gotta catch up. But this is causing all of this tension between both of them. He's like, I want to marry a human. And she's like, I don't want to be a human. Edward's like, that's racist. And then she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to talk to my mom. Edward's like, that sounds great. Let's go to Florida, we be.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm ranting for no...
I don't know what you're talking about. I just tuned out your entire conversation with yourself.
This is classic Twilight noobs.
So we get we learned something that Phil apparently is not playing baseball anymore because it just says he's a high school baseball team. So I'm assuming he doesn't play anymore.
Yeah, he's just a massive failure.
It sounds like a massive failure to me.
Not even making money.
So then we get Bella and Renee on a walk. They're talking, and she says, like, you guys are more serious than I've been thinking. And, like, there's something strange about the way you two are together. The way he watches you, it's so protective. Like, he's about to throw himself in front of a bullet to save you or something. Like, so this is, like, basically Renee is like, there's something weird. Like, so...
Do the Renee again?
I don't know. How did I sound? I don't remember.
There's something weird going on.
Okay. There's two things about this. Just this part here. The way he watches you, it's so protective. Like he's about to throw himself in front of a bullet to save you or something. So it's really weird, like hearing this, because if you think back, like she was married to Charlie, and Charlie was an officer, and like
You mean Chuck?
Yeah, and so like obviously Forks isn't a dangerous place, but like it's his, like he's supposed to protect people. And so did Renee never feel this? Like, did she never feel like, man, he is watching me, like he is going to jump in front to save me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because she says there's something strange about the way that you two are together. And she says this, which I find funny, because I feel like this should be a normal thing between like people who love each other. They like want to protect each other. And like, so did Renee just never feel this or something? Because she says it's new, like it's different, like she's never seen it before. So it shows to me like Renee has never had
a relationship.
She's never had a good relationship. It doesn't even sound like she has a good relationship with Phil.
Makes sense.
So like he's very intense about you and very careful. So like, and then she goes on to say like, I feel like I don't really understand your relationship. Like there's some secret I'm missing. Like, come on. Like this, come on, Stephanie Meyer. Like there's some secret I'm missing. Like, and it's like, oh man, there are secrets. Like, how is she knowing this? Like, how is she figuring this out?
How did she figure out she's a vampire already? That's crazy.
So
my mom's so smart.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, come on. Like, it's
what, Jason? Spit it out.
Like a secret between two people who love each other. Like you have like inside information, like, like what a person likes, what a person like enjoys the most, what they do on their free time, like, all this different information about each other. But the way that she says, it's like there's like a secret I'm missing. Like it just seems so like Stephanie Meyer to put that in, to be like, it just seems like there's something like magical, like there's something like abnormal, or like one of you is a vampire. Like it's so pushing that, and it's really annoying because like,
yeah, I see what you're trying to say. Where she's just pushing all of the motivation of Renee to be like a what are you trying to say? What am I trying to say now? Crap. Like a fantasy detective trying to hint to the audience that, Renee even knows that something sketchy is going on. Bella's secret isn't really safe. She's not even safe from her own mother and stuff like that. I don't know. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so Bella then tries to, like, be kind of nice to her and just be like, like, oh, like, don't worry, you know, like, you're just, I think you're imagining things, Mom, you know,
you're just
it's all
crazy,
good.
Mom.
And then she says, like, the way you move, you orient yourself around him without even thinking about it. When he moves even a little bit, you adjust your position at the same time, like magnets or gravity. I've never seen anything like it. Like, I don't know. Anyways, but she says, like, you're reading mysteries again, huh, Mom? And she says, well, there is one, but that doesn't matter. We're talking about you right now.
Right.
So she's, like, truly trying to, like, switch the subject on Renee. And then she finally does, but
it's not that hard. Renee's got a short attention span.
Yeah, so true. But they get home and Charlie is like, what's up? Like, how was Jacksonville? And, you know, so we find out that Renee was going to, like, sell Bella on trying to move there to go to the University of Florida.
Sell her own daughter.
Sell her own daughter.
Orphans are valuable nowadays. Sacrifices must be made.
Yep. Bella declines this. She does not want to go to the University of Florida. And then I think Stephanie Meyer must have either someone in the past. She must have someone who reminds her of, like, or she's written Charlie to reflect on this person. Like, because she just got home from, like, what, like a 3-day trip or something to Jacksonville. And then he says, I really missed you, Bells. The food around here sucks when you're gone. Like, that's like one of the first things he says to Bella is, I really missed you, Bells, like the food. And then Bella's like, I'll get on it. Like, it's so, like, they're making Charlie seem like he is
misogynistic.
Well, yeah, and, like, he was the problem in the relationship with Renee.
Right, just demanding, like, all this, like, service.
Like, well, he he goes to work, comes home, watches the game, demands food.
No attention.
He sits in his chair. He isn't the greatest dad with Bella, like, in conversation, like, trying to help. Like, he did try to, like,
doesn't even care.
Like, have a sex talk with her, and, like, he tries to be like, you're grounded, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was scared that you were gone for 3 days and all this stuff. Like, where were you? And
right.
So, like, he cares about her. He's just, like, he's had, like, I would say a tough life. And he's never, like, Bella just moved back into the house, you know, this stuff type of thing. Like, he wasn't really there for Bella growing up in a way. Like, I don't know. But I wouldn't say that Charlie is the only problem. Like, I would say Renee has her issues too.
Definitely.
You know, like,
it's always on both sides. It's not just one side.
Like, remember when Bella goes to the hospital and, like, Renee comes in and she's like, like,
okay,
she talks for like 2 seconds. I gotta go. Like, I'm expecting a call from Phil. See ya. Like, you're later, almost Dick. Dead, but whatever.
Hope you feel better. Yeah, she's a bad.
So they're not the best parents, and, like, so it's, I don't know, but, like, it seems more like they're trying to make Charlie out to be the bad guy, like, a little bit here, but
that's kind of what I'm getting to.
And then he even says it again, like, he, like, soonish, I can't remember what he says, but he, like, says something like, should I just, like, order pizza or something? Or are you gonna make that food, woman?
You gonna get on it or what?
He basically says that, and Bella's like, oh, sorry, like, I'll get on it. Like, that's seriously what happens. It's, I don't know, it's super weird, but
I think they're taking it another step a little bit too far.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit too much, but
riding Chuck hard.
We also find out that while Bella was gone, Jacob started calling the house a lot.
Oh boy.
he started calling and was like basically asking for Bella a ton for Charlie. And so when so now that Bella's back, you know, there's a phone call and Charlie's like, that's probably Jacob. So Bella goes and answers the phone and he says, why didn't you call me? And then Bella says, because I've been in the house for exactly 4 seconds and you interrupted Charlie telling me you called. So we get like a weird thing here where
awkward.
Jacob asks, hey, are you going to be at school tomorrow? Bella says, of course I am. And then, like, that's basically the end of the conversation. That's all Jacob wanted to know. He just says, like, and then Bella tries to have a conversation with him. Like, I'm also glad you called me, Jake.
Gotta go back.
And he says, I have to go. Yep. Beep, 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 beep.
Instant cutoff.
So, yep. I don't know,
Classic tough guy move.
He hangs up on her, and
as you should.
Bella's trying to figure out the reasoning. Like, why is he asking if I'm going to school tomorrow? Why was he like acting this way? Why does he want to talk to me so bad, but at the same time he doesn't? Like, she's trying to figure this out. To me, when I read just that line during the phone call where it said, "Are you going to be at school tomorrow?" My first thought was, oh, he's going to show up at the school and talk to you.
Right.
Like, that was my initial thought. But Bella doesn't even think about this. It's so weird to me. Like, I don't understand, like, why she doesn't come to this conclusion at all. Like, that was my first thought. And,
she's doing that thing where girls just overanalyze the situation. Just imagine what would have happened if Jacob sent her a text being like, hey, are you going to school tomorrow? She would have come up with like 300 reasons why she wasn't going to school that day, or 300 other reasons why she would.
It's also really like touchy right now with Jacob because she wants to be like, you know, she wants to have this friendship with Jacob.
Buddy.
But at the same time, is it just a friendship?
That's what she thinks.
Because when she answered Jacob's phone call, this is the thought that went through her head right here. It says, 1,000 memories spun in my head, tangling together. A rocky beach strewn with driftwood trees, a garage made of plastic sheds, warm sodas in a plastic bag, a tiny room with one too small shabby love seat, the laughter in his deep-set black eyes, the feverish heat of his big hand around mine, the flash of his white teeth against his dark skin, his face stretching into a wild smile that had always been like a key to a secret door where only kindred spirits could enter. Like,
jeez.
This to me sounds like it's more than a friendship. Like,
well, think of it this way: if Edward was able to read her thoughts when she thought that,
exactly,
he would be so mad.
I was thinking that same thing. Like, there's a reason why Stephanie Meyer
sandwich.
Like, there's a reason why Stephanie Meyer made it so Edward couldn't read her thoughts, because she has thoughts about Jacob. Obviously, like, as soon as Bella hears Jacob's voice, she starts thinking about 1,000 memories about them being together. You don't think about that when you're just friends. Like,
I hope not.
You don't do this. This is way more than just a little friendship type thing. So I think Edward is a little bit cautious about this, very protective, He wants to make sure that Jacob, doesn't win over his girl.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh boy's right.
Competition's getting thick.
I'm telling you, man, this book, Jacob and Bella are going to make out. It's got to happen. It's going to happen. I'm betting. What should I bet?
Gonna bet 2 Snickers bars.
How about this? I'll go crazier than 2 Snickers bars.
Whoa.
How about 3 Snickers bars?
Dude, that's like 5 times more than 2 Snickers bars. Let's see.
Are you going to take that bet?
I'll take that bet, but I'll also raise you 5 jelly beans.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm pretty sure that's out of your budget, mister.
That's kind of a little high for me, man.
Well, stakes are high. Obviously, I don't think Jacob's going to make out. Boy, wait, first. We got to define what make out is. Is make out more than 2 kisses? Or is make out they're holding each other and like drool is being passed.
Let's say they hold each other and it's just more than like a second long. You know what I mean? Like they're going for a couple seconds.
Well, one kiss can go for a couple seconds.
Yeah,
especially if it's a slow one.
Okay,
so making out. You're saying they're gonna make out. I'm saying like make out's gonna be 10 seconds. Like that's what we're gonna have to judge it to be. 10 seconds. That sounds like a make out.
So 3 Snicker bars and 3 jelly beans. Let's not go crazy with 5. No, let's not go crazy with 5 jelly beans. Let's go 3 and 3.
All right. I guess you're not going all in then.
All right. Virtual over the Discord handshake.
Ooh. Can't do it. It's not official.
I'll shake your hand at some point. All right.
There we go. Okay. There we go. But what if I want Butterfingers? I don't want Snickers anymore.
How about we write that in the clause? You can choose which types.
There we go. Nice. Getting it official. Put a sub clause down there.
Yeah. I'll have my guy write it. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah, cool. I'll have my notary watch him write it.
All right.
We can do it over at UPS. I hear they have a notary public there.
Oh, you don't want your guy anymore?
No, I just remembered he's kind of a shyster. He might not read everything.
Okay.
I gotta get my Butterfinger if I want it.
Depends
on the day. I might want $100,000 after that. Who knows? Maybe I'll want half and half. I don't even know. Maybe I'll want skim milk with my Butterfingers. I don't know what the next day holds for me, man. I'm sorry.
Write out all the different things that you might consider replacements.
Holy crap! That's gonna be a massive document. We might have to virtualize this and put it in PDF format. Let's get back to Twilight.
All right. So, oh boy. So she also has a thought that maybe Jacob thinks that she's a vampire now because vampires, it takes a couple days, for the process to finish. And so it would make sense. Like Edward took her randomly for 3 days somewhere. And like Jacob's like, hold on a second. Like they left the state. Like there's not like the land anymore. They're not like on, treaty wise on the land. So he took her somewhere else to turn her into a vampire. So it wouldn't break the treaty. So like it's definitely a possibility. But obviously that's not what happened.
Wow.
So we also get like maybe Charlie told Billy I'd vanish for 3 days. So obviously Charlie and Billy were having conversations again. Obviously Charlie and Billy were having conversations again.
What are you doing?
I was trying to cue you.
Well, the weird thing was, it sounded like your internet cut out. I wasn't sure if you were still talking, so I was just gonna stay quiet.
I was just trying to cue you so bad to
I was like,
have a Charlie and Billy conversation again, but obviously you're just so stupid.
Well, you didn't start using your voice.
Oh my gosh,
sorry, man. I thought the internet cut out. I legit thought I was watching Discord, waiting for your little green thing to flick on again.
Do I need to send you a text beforehand? Hey, I might cue you for this, and I might cue you for that. So look for the signs.
Have we ever needed that? Have we ever planned anything for a podcast?
We should have. Obviously, we should. Our downloads aren't as good, so maybe we should have.
No, planning is for the weak.
Obviously, we're weak right now anyway, so I don't know.
Rap! Just throwing it all out on me. Jeez. Right. You want to try again?
No.
Okay. Keep going.
I think that he was checking to make sure that I'm human, says Bella. So, right here. If you don't want to make dinner, I can call for pizza, Charlie hinted. Mm-hmm. No, it's okay. I've already started. Don't worry, sit down, Charlie. I got this.
Don't worry, I'll do my woman duties.
You go sit down in that chair.
You go make yourself comfortable. Can I make it even more enjoyable? Want a beer?
Yeah, can I rub your feet too?
Daddy. That's so wrong. Darn you, Stephanie Meyer.
I know. It's seriously, she's pushing it.
It's completely sabotaging all men.
All right. Dude, we're not bad. Okay, listeners out there, me and Eric, come on.
You mean
this
Eric
is not
and I?
us. Eric and I,
That's
our
what I
grammar
thought.
might be the worst in the world, but
Our grammar?
Come on. Yeah, our grammar. might not
Jeez,
be-
I just corrected you. How could my grammar be bad?
Yours is worse than mine, though.
I'm an abusive person. I'll admit it. I abuse
To
my
me,
wife.
you are.
Physically abuse. With tickling.
Shut up. Okay, we have you on record. I don't know if I put that in the actual podcast episode, though. You
What?
shot her with like an airsoft gun.
I shot the door. She already
okay.
left. Hey,
Okay.
she hit me on the back of my head. It was self-defense.
I did text her to do that,
Yeah,
though.
see?
Mm.
No, but I do
Might
the
help-
Chinese tickle torture. Very common method of getting back at your loved ones. Just saying. It's a legit method.
Okay, I believe you. Now we're gonna get some police phone calls against you now.
I'm going to get swatted.
Yeah, you are.
Ruh-roh.
All right, so the next day, they go to school, and we get, I don't know, they pull up, and then we get like, oh man, like they can spot Jacob from a mile away because he's like 6'7", all muscle.
Oh, yeah. That's right. He's almost like 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and in the movie, he's like 5 foot nothing.
What happened? Could they just not like find anybody that was actually like huge? That was actually like a
don't
legit
know.
actor?
They needed to change the casting of that movie.
I don't even
so
know if that
bad.
guy's a legit actor, especially after the motorcycle scene where he ditches it. That does not seem like acting. Didn't
I would
even
say
seem like
he's
he was
better-
breathing.
I still think he's better than Robert Pattinson, though. Edward, dude, like, that was... He's supposed to be, like, this perfect, like, beautiful thing that's ever walked the
You
earth.
can't act beauty. It's just natural, man. Not everybody is an Eric, okay?
Okay, but they needed you, not him. That's what
This
I'm
is
saying.
true. Wait, they need a Jew?
Don't turn this, like, into something like that.
How awkward did I just make you right now?
You make me awkward every day of my life.
But anyways, Taylor Lautner, is that his name?
Yep.
That's the werewolf kid, Jacob?
Yep.
I feel like his character in the movie was about 3 times worse than what he is in the book.
That's what I feel about every character. Bella, Edward, like...
Jacob, like, in the book just seems like way, way more, like, tame and, like, docile than the other dude. Like,
That's why
what's his face?
I'm Team
He
Jacob.
just seems like a mean guy. He just seems like a mean guy.
I'm Team Jacob, dude. Bella needs to go for Jacob. That's the whole point. In the book, he's better.
Okay, I'm not arguing.
Yeah, you are, because you always say you're Team Edward.
I do?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I say I'm Team Nobody. I'm Team Chuck, if anything.
Yeah, but
Chuck deserves
Bella, but there can't be a Team Chuck. That's like...
Yes, he does.
That's like,
If he needs fried chicken
No.
and waffles, who's going to make it for
yeah,
him?
but that's like
Edward?
Alabama stuff right there. That's not good. You can't have a Team Chuck like Bella and Chuck. That's not good.
Well, I just made it. So, Team Chuck is alive and kicking.
Gosh, we talk about weird things, man. Okay.
It's a dumb podcast. What are we supposed to talk about? It's about Twilight.
Yeah.
We have to have conversations about something.
We were technically on topic. We talked about Taylor Lautner, Edward, and all that stuff.
This is
So
very true.
it just was. Anyways, so they get to the school, pull up. They see Jacob over there. Edward demands Bella to stay in the car.
Ooh, naughty.
That Jacob is there. That so they can talk. Edward and Jacob can talk while there's witnesses, and so nothing gets out of hand. That was the whole purpose, is him coming to school to talk to them, and just to
Surprise.
be a safe place to talk. So Bella goes on to say, yeah, I'm not staying in the car. And Edward says, of course not. Let's get this over with. So Edward's like, changes his mind in 3 seconds. All right, let's go. As they start walking up to Jacob, they get a lot of the classmates are like, whoa, like what's going on here? Like, is there about to be a fight? Like, what is going on? So it's weird because they actually go and have like a conversation, and they're talking about like everything secret wise, werewolf, vampire, like everything. And
right, everyone's just right there.
So apparently people are far enough away where they can't hear what they're saying, because if they could, we would have a lot of problems on the werewolf side and the vampire side. You know, Volturi and Sam and Billy and whatever on the other side. So there would definitely be some problems. So obviously people cannot hear. We get Jacob.
Not very well, at least.
Jacob then goes on to call vampires leeches. I don't have any leeches on my speed dial, so burn 1 point to Jacob so far. Maybe we should keep score. 1 point. Right?
The bout has begun.
All right. This is hardly the place, Jacob. Could we discuss this later? Then we get another point for Jacob. Sure. I'll stop by your crypt after school.
Oh!
What's wrong with now? So, we learned some information. Yep. Meow. We get some information here, and this was obvious to both of us, Eric and myself. There was definitely a hidden meaning for the reason why to Edward and Bella leaving for the trip at this moment. We both saw that Edward was being a little bit weird and different and not his normal self. There was a reason why they went to Jacksonville. And Jacob is like, what? He didn't tell you? And he's like, he goes on to say like, what? Were you afraid she'd take our side? Edward says, please drop it. So Edward doesn't even want to tell Bella. Like,
secrets don't make friends.
We are getting a lot of Edward's true character, where he left Bella, went to go and basically went to go kill himself, and then when he comes back, he says, "I will never leave you, and like I will, basically love you forever, and I'll never leave your side." And now we're getting Edward lying to her to like protect her, air quotes, protect, and we find out that Victoria was in fact trying to hunt her down. And so they left. Whoa. So Edward, there was a vision that Alice saw. And so obviously Edward was trying to take precautions, get them out of Forks to protect Bella. Jacob's like, he is like freaking out on this, basically saying like, why haven't you told her? And like saying like, what, you're not honest with her, like you don't think Bella has a right to know, it's her life. Jacob is trying to play the card of like, I would trust you, Bella, like I would let you know what's going on, I would be there for you. Like he's trying to take the opposite approach in hoping that Bella will like come back to him and not Edward. Like he's really trying to
good luck.
He's trying to get in between the lovebirds right now, and it might work because obviously there's a team Jacob. So obviously something has to spark with them. So we could have a book here where Bella is really struggling between the two, and it's because Jacob is trying to like include Bella and like trust Bella, and I don't know. So we could get some stuff in here. It could be that Bella is kind of having a hard time deciding. I don't know.
Is she though? I'm sure she's just like flowing with it right now. She's just riding the wave.
I'm saying that could be the future in the book.
Oh, okay.
Like right now she's with Edward, but like him not trusting, like Edward not trusting Bella, not telling her what's going on. Like,
is it a trust issue though? It might not be a trust issue. It might just be
why not tell her
to let her know, because he doesn't want to worry her.
No, but all you have to say is, hey, I had a vision to take a precaution to save your life. Let's just go to Florida for a couple days and we'll come back and everything will be fine. Like,
because then she'll fight it. She won't want to leave.
She won't want to leave to protect herself.
She won't want to leave because she wouldn't want to leave Chuck in danger.
Yeah, but like
she would fight it.
The problem is her being there doesn't, and she knows this, her being there, she has no powers. She has no effect over anyone. Like, she can't help the situation. She knows that.
Well, but Edward also understands she's super stubborn.
Yeah, she is.
So that's his reason. That's his logic for not telling her. He just wants to keep it as easy as possible, keep her out of the loop. That way she's not ever worried. She can just go about her human life.
Yeah, but
I think that's half the
that's
thing. He's like, I don't want her to be worried. I want her to be human.
But I think you have to let her know. You can't just, like, try to hide things from her to protect her. Like,
well, obviously, there's two sides of it. There's the one side where Edward's protective and he loves her and he just wants her to be happy. Doesn't want her to be scared and worried and all that stuff. And that's why he did what he did. The other side would be where you tell her the truth, be completely open, and then face the problem together at the same time.
Okay, but here's the point right here. Edward then goes on. Edward says, why should she be frightened when she was never in danger? Edward himself is saying she wasn't in danger. So why even go to Florida in the first place? It's like a precaution, but he even says right here, why should she be frightened when she was never in danger?
Well, what does he mean by that? She was never in danger because she was going to Florida, or she was never in danger because she was completely protected by everybody? She wasn't
going to be in danger. It was just a precaution. Like, but that's the problem. He didn't flat out just like tell Bella this. And then Jacob says, better frightened than lied to.
Oh.
So Jacob is scoring points here, my friend. In my opinion, we're getting some Team Jacob.
Okay. Congratulations. Screw Jacob. Jacob sucks.
This is when Jacob says, okay, so Edward says, do you really think that hurting her is better than protecting her? Jacob says, she's tougher than you think, and she's been through worse. Double freaking points for Jacob here. First, he says, she's tougher than you think, praising Bella on being tough. Then she says she's been through worse, and he's referring to the time where Edward left her, broke up with her, left her in pieces, where Jacob was there to pick them up. Jacob is a man.
He isn't a man.
He's a man.
He's following a man.
Edward is no man.
Oh, I beg to differ. I beg to differ.
This is when Jacob pulls... Dude, Jacob is on freaking point here. Jacob doesn't even have to say anything. He starts to think. And what does he think about? He thinks about all of the memories with Bella when she was hurt and in pain because of Edward leaving. So Edward's the only one that can hear those thoughts right now. So Edward is hearing Jacob and seeing those thoughts and seeing those memories. And so Edward is like, his face is like winced. Like he's like having a hard time with it. And he's like even Bella says, what are you doing to him? Demands, is Bella's demanding to Jacob. And right. Bella says, and then Edward says, it's nothing. Jacob has a good memory. That's all. So he's referring to Jacob sitting there thinking about all the different times with Bella and everything. Like, this is like, Jacob is just destroying Edward here. And he says, it's his own fault if he doesn't like the things I remember, though.
Ouch.
So the principal is going to come over and like break up the fight and everything.
Because there's like a massive crowd now.
Yeah, there's a crowd going. And Jacob says, overprotective, isn't he? A little trouble makes life fun. Let me guess, you're not allowed to have fun, are you?
Oh. Bad boy talk right there.
He then goes on to say, hey, if you ever feel like having a life again, you can come see me. I've still got your motorcycle in the garage.
That's totally bad boy talk right there.
He's trying to be the bad boy right now.
He is the bad boy.
He says, I wasn't going to sell the motorcycle because it's your motorcycle to sell. Like, it's your choice what you do with it, says Jacob. This is when we get, like, Jacob then goes, oh my gosh, dude. I'm telling you, dude. Jacob is just dominating Edward here. And Edward can't even... He should just lay down and quit after this conversation, dude.
Dang. It's that bad?
He should lay down, dig himself his own grave, and just hop right into it.
Ouch. Okay.
Jacob goes on to say, I miss you every day, Bella. It's not the same without you. So, like, he says this in front of both of them. Edward is there,
Right.
but he still he says this. And, like, that's not even the worst part. It's what Bella goes on to say. She says, I know, I'm sorry, Jake. I just, like, it's not like, she doesn't say...
Get over it.
Like, yeah, like, get over it. Like, I'm with Edward. I'm like, sorry, Jacob. Like, it's done. Like, she doesn't even say that.
Right.
Like,
kind of open-ended.
Like, she's like, oh, man, like,
Don't worry, if Edward dies, I'll come back to you.
Exactly. So here we get the principal coming, and he starts breaking it up. Edward and Bella start heading to class, and then, like, the principal's like, Jacob, like, are you even a student here? Like, who are you? He's like, no, I'm not a student. And so he, like, threatens to call the police on Jacob, and so...
You better leave.
They all do their separate ways, and... He, like, talks to Edward and saying, like, I expect you to ask your friend to refrain from trespassing again. Edward says he's no friend of mine, but I'll pass along the warning.
Ooh.
So then Edward goes on to talk to Bella and just say, like, hey, do you feel well enough to go back to class? You know what I mean? Like, to go to class. And she says yes. So this is when they're in class, and this is when they're not, like, they can't really talk because they're in class. So we get, like, the note passing, which is like, dude, I note passed all day in school to girls, dude.
I never
That was
did.
like,
I don't think I even got
all
one.
day.
I don't remember. I wonder if I did. Probably didn't.
I don't think I have any more. Maybe in my memory box or something. I don't know.
You have a
My
memory
parents have it at the
box?
house. My mom was like she's been going through, like, all of, like, my siblings' stuff that she has and, like, putting them into different boxes for, like, people, you know, like, for each kid. So there technically could be something in mine that. So
well, that'll be
it'll
interesting
to look through it. Yeah,
that'd be funny if you even kept a note.
I don't know. I have no idea. So basically, Bella writes him a note and says, what happened? Tell me everything. And screw the protecting me. So Bella obviously heard what Jacob said and is kind of, like, listening to it. Like, kind of like, yeah, like Jacob was right. The protecting me, like, that stuff is junk. Get that stuff out of here. Like, you need to be honest with me. So Edward confirms, like, yes, like, Alice saw Victoria was coming back. I took you out of town as a precaution. Emmett and Jasper nearly had her. Victoria seemed to have instinct for evasion, so this is where the evasion would have come in handy for this chapter. She was like,
Yes.
Edward says that she was, like, on the border between the two, you know, like, the werewolves and the vampires. Like, she was, like, on the border. Like, she had a map of it. Like, somehow she knew where the border was between the two. So I don't know how she knows about that, like, the treaty. I don't know how she knows about I don't know. But so both sides almost had her, and then there was a huge debate on if Emmett crossed over the line. And so because of that, like, they started getting into some sort of, like, verbal, like, fight between the two groups. And so because of that, Victoria slipped away. So basically, they're on the same team in a way. Like, they're trying to stop Victoria, but, like, they're still trying to get used to it. They're trying to, like, but they're not on the same team because, you know, obvious reasons, treaty and all that stuff. But if they would have just, like, worked together, then Victoria would be totally dead right now. And they're just stupid and they need to get over it.
Bunch of dummies.
So she does bring up Charlie, like she says, what about Charlie? She could have been after him. Edward shakes his head before she even finishes writing that down. So obviously Charlie was in no danger. It sounds like Bella really wasn't in any danger. So then they start doing, like, this weird, like, side thing where they talk about, like, they start writing notes about, like, a plane crash, like, like, why is the plane crash? Like, they were on, I don't know, like, Bella was on a plane by herself or something, and then she, like, somehow got into this crazy, like, castaway scenario where the plane crashes and she's by herself or something. I don't know, but not really important.
No, not at all.
Yep. So they finish writing, like,
what is important though?
Nothing. I don't know if there's anything more important really, but like Edward, they just finished writing the notes, and like the teacher like comes by and is like, "Is there anything you'd like to share there, Mr. Colin?" And then Edward is like come on, Edward, but he says, "My notes." Yeah, like, and like so he had wrote notes for the lecture
at the same time.
Yeah,
two hands going.
We then get a conversation between Mike, Tyler, Austin, and Ben. We have no idea who Austin is. This is the first time we're hearing his name, I think.
Interesting.
But
must be the new guy. Foreign exchange student.
Probably.
Came last year from Volterra.
That would be
an
interesting twist. That would be a good twist. Too
bad I didn't write the book.
Yeah. Dude, we should just rewrite the books. Like,
pretty sure we shouldn't.
I'm pretty sure we shouldn't, but our book would be so much better.
Probably wouldn't sell though.
Yeah, probably not.
There wouldn't be any teen girls reading it. Because our definition of good is way different from theirs.
True. So they start talking bets. Who would win in a fight, Edward or Jacob? We get like it's kind of frustrating because Stephanie Meyer does the whole even junk where like there's 4 of them and 2 of them are on team Edward and 2 of them are on team Jacob. Like, it's like, like really like there's not like a 3-1 or something, or all of them agree on someone. We have to do like this in the middle thing. But Mike is actually on team Jacob. And if we remember Mike, he was the one that went to the movies with Jacob, and they had their whole little like, you know, breakout thing there, especially in the movie when Jacob just like is about to kill him. He's just
jealous of Edward though. That's all it is.
So he's not jealous of Jacob for some reason, but
because Jacob doesn't have Bella.
That's true. So that's why Mike is on team Jacob. Any team that isn't Edward, that's the team he's on.
Exactly. Yep. He's a wuss.
Good point.
He's not a man.
Maybe Stephanie Meyer brought in Austin. We've never heard his name before. She just brought him in just for this betting thing so that it was a tie.
Oh.
That's probably exactly what it was. Like, let's be honest.
Great. Yeah.
But
we'll never hear of him again.
Probably not. Or he just like...
That would be very appropriate.
He just dies. Like, I don't know. Something like that. But...
Oh, yeah. Victoria gets him.
Yeah. He's the first one dead.
That would work for me.
Based off of this chapter, Victoria has been too much of a part of these books. Like, that it's getting annoying. Like, she was talked about in the second book, but there wasn't, like, any fights with her. There wasn't really, like, I don't know. It's just, like, they need to end Victoria. It's becoming too much, where it's like, we almost caught her, but she got away again. Like...
Right.
There needs to be something that happens with Victoria, whether she breaks the defenses and like gets really close to killing Bella, and then like Edward's there and they get into a fight, just as like the 2 of them or something. Like there needs to be
and Bella's watching the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't pass out because if she does, that's typical Stephanie Meyer. Part. Yeah, that's really is the important part. It doesn't matter if Edward dies. Like as long as Bella doesn't pass out, we're good. Or it just skips to like after the fight for some reason.
Oh, we took care of him. He's dead. Right. All right. Thanks,
She's
book. Dead. But so I think Victoria's gonna have something's gonna happen with Victoria. Something has to happen soon because it's just like too much, and something's gonna happen between obviously Jacob, Edward, and Bella. I think Bella is going to be in the middle at some point in the book between the 2 of them. I think that her and Jacob obviously have to have some sort of like romantic thing, kissing, making out, whatever it is, hopefully making out so I win the bet. But
we'll find out.
There has to be some sort of romantic thing in this book. I would be baffled if they never kiss in these books, and it's like there was no Team Jacob. Like there has to be a point where Bella is really trying to decide between the two of them. So
Yeah, I agree. They're gonna kiss eventually.
yeah.
I just don't know if they're gonna make out.
I hope Edward sees it.
Oh, just thinking right in front of him.
Right in front.
Ugh, that'd be weird. How would he react? Wonder if he'd just like get in a fight right then.
I don't know if he would, because he would probably be worried about hurting Bella. Because if he like ran at Jacob or something, like, you know. But then again, is he really worried about her, like, protecting her? In the movie, he did just like chuck her against a wall like as hard as he could for no reason.
Chuck her, he smacked her, he backhanded her into the wall.
That movie, that part will always get me, man, because that was so unnecessary. It's so stupid, but
crazy bad. Oh well.
All right, but that's gonna do it for chapter 3. We'll
it's over already.
It is over.
Dang, good thing we didn't do 2 chapters. Holy crap!
I know we can milk 1 chapter. We can do it.
You can milk 1 chapter. I'm just over here like, yep,
yep.
Yep. Tell me about it.
But hope you enjoyed this episode. You guys, you have phones. You know that? Like,
wow, big surprise!
Like, while you're listening to this, you can probably.
My dad got an iPhone.
No way.
Something I never thought would happen.
That's funny.
One of those dudes
he should
that was
go
like,
leave a review.
I'll
on
never
iTunes.
get an iPhone. Oh yeah, make him leave a review.
Yep. So I'm expecting 3 new reviews this week on iTunes.
Just 3?
Yeah, that would be great to get 3 new ones.
Who did you pay?
I don't. No, don't
You're
worry about it.
expecting 3.
Don't worry about it.
I'm worried about it. I'm kind of worried that might be my Snickers money.
Yep.
See, legit fear.
So, go and leave a review on iTunes. Go and check out the Facebook page. All of you have Facebook. Come on, people. Like, let's just be honest. Go over our Facebook page, Twilight Noobs. Like it. I think you can even leave recommendations and reviews on the page. So,
ooh.
I noticed that a couple
fancy.
people posted it in the subreddit like kind of a while ago, and like I kind of forgot about it, and so I went back recently and just like saw that some people posted on it, so that was awesome. So keep going and checking. I'm gonna look at it more and more now, just since I remembered. So you guys can go and check out the subreddit Twilight Noobs as well. But yeah, thanks for just listening, guys. It's been awesome. We are getting through the books, and
Eventually we'll finish the books, and you'll never have to hear us again.
Never have to hear us again. Yeah, right. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but
we'll read Terminator.
There you go. Thanks for listening. We'll be here next week. Hope you enjoyed. I'm Jason.
I'm Dumb. And Eric.
And why does it always have to be me?
Oh, because you're the one that likes doing it. You're like the sign-off
sign
guy.
off this time. What? Oh.
And don't forget, if you have 2 boyfriends, you're just asking for mama problems.
Can you explain that? Why did you think of, why is that? What does that have to do with anything we read?
It's a mystery that will be left unexplained. But she does have mama problems, and she does have 2 boyfriends, so.
Oh, okay, gotcha.